This is Augustana Sportscene, a weekly update on Viking athletics at South Dakota's largest private college. Now, let's catch up on the action and excitement of Augustana athletics as we roll Augustana Sports Update for this week.
The Augustana men's basketball team moved up to 9th in the NABC Top 25 poll this past week, improving its winning streak to 10 games with a pair of NSIC road wins. The Vikings opened the weekend with a high-scoring affair, 101-92 over St. Cloud State on Friday. The Viking men shot a season-high 62.3% from the field and had 5 players scoring in double figures, led by Al Richter's career-high 29 points. Richter was 8 of 10 from the field and matched his career high with 4 3-pointers on the night, finishing 4 of 5 behind the arc. Casey Schilling made history on Friday night, becoming the 31st member of the 1,000-point club in Augustana men's basketball history, after scoring 21 points to go along with his 4 rebounds. Schilling also went over 500 career rebounds in the win, becoming just the 14th player in school history, with 1,000-plus points, 500-plus rebounds in his career. Dan Jansen finished the night with double-double, scoring 18 points and grabbing 10 rebounds. Adam Byer pitched in with 15 points, while Jordan Spencer added 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals to win over the Huskies. The Vikings then traveled to Duluth, Minnesota, where they shot a season-high 65% from three-point range in a 95-69 win over Minnesota Duluth on Saturday. Dan Jansen registered his second straight double-double, finishing with 29 points and 10 rebounds while knocking down a career-high 14 free throws to help the Vikings improve to 17-1 on the season, including 11-1 mark in NSIC play. The Vikings hit 13 of 20 three-pointers in the win over the Bulldogs, including 4 from Tanner Odegaard, who finished the night with a career-high 12 points. Casey Schilling finished with 21 points and 8 rebounds, and Al Richter pitched in with 18 points and 8 rebounds, hitting 3 of 4 three-pointers in the win. Head coach Dave Krause' women's basketball team split a pair of road games on the weekend, starting with a 79-70 win at St. Cloud State on Friday night. The Vikings used a strong start to the second half to overpower the Huskies behind Nicole Kirchhoff's team-high 20 points and 9 rebounds. Shantiva Ashley pitched in with 18 points and 8 assists, picking up her 400th career assists along the way, becoming just the 3rd player in team history with at least 1,500 points, 400 rebounds, and 400 assists in a career. The Vikings trailed by 3 at halftime, but were never out of the game, completing the comeback in the second half. Augustana opened the second half with a 12-7 run to take a 44-42 lead and never looked back, extending its run 24-8 at the midway point of the half to grab a double-digit lead and secure the victory. On Saturday night, despite holding Minnesota Duluth to just 28% shooting, the Vikings were unable to come away with the victory, failing 73-68 to the Bulldogs. Nicole Kirchhoff delivered another big performance for the Vikings, recording her 4th double-double of the season with 18 points and 16 rebounds. The career-high 16 rebounds by Kirchhoff is the most by a Viking player since Whitney Gopher grabbed the same amount in a game in 2009. Freshman forward Paige Pearson scored a season-high 13 points and pulled down 5 rebounds in the loss. The Augustana men's and women's basketball teams returned to the Sioux Falls Arena this Friday and Saturday, hosting Winona State and Upper Iowa. The 17th-ranked Augustana wrestling team had a strong showing at the Ranger Duels in Kenosha, Wisconsin last Saturday, going 4-0 on the day. The Vikings started off the duels with a 25-9 victory over Finley, where they won 6 of 10 bouts, including an 11-2 major decision by top-ranked 125-pounder TJ North. The Vikings then won 7 of 10 bouts, all by decision, en route to a 26-13 victory over the University of Indianapolis. Augustana continued action at the Ranger Duels with a 28-18 win over Tiffin University, which was highlighted by Morgan Engbrecht's pin at 133 pounds for one of the Vikings' 6 wins in the duel. The Vikings wrestler then took on tournament host Wisconsin Parkside and defeated the Rangers 30-6. Sean Hagelstad helped give the Vikings a big lead against UW Parkside when he pinned his opponent in just 47 seconds in the 157-pound bout. The Augustana men's and women's indoor track and field programs had a strong showing at the Dort Invitational on Saturday, picking up 5 individual titles. Emma Anderson took first place in the 1,000-meter race, while teammate Avery Selberg finished second in the same race. 4 Vikings swept the women's 55-meter hurdles, finishing in the top 4 spots. Irene Allmarcha earned a provisional qualified first place, while Bree Wilbur finished second. Valerie Moose third, and Kellyanne Brunswick fourth. Bree Wilbur and Kelsey Kaufman provisionally qualified in high jump, placing first and second. Kayla Mesher took home the title in the 800-meter dash, and Ann Parsley won the 600-meter dash for the Vikings. Brothers Justin and Jason Greenway finished in the top 2 spots in the men's 55-meter dash. C.J. Ham took second place and traditionally qualified with a 58-foot plus throw and earned third place in the shot put with a toss of 50 feet. The Vikings indoor track and field teams return to action January 23rd and 24th at the MSU Alumni Open in Mankato, Minnesota. That's this week's sports update. We'll be right back with Augustana head men's basketball coach Tom Biller.
Augustana Sports Scene is brought to you by Sanford Health, Mid-Continent Communications, Light Touch Photography, and Graham Automotive.
With the many priorities in your life, your health and weight can be overlooked. The team at Sanford Health has designed a plan with you in mind. Profile by Sanford delivers a simple, effective, and sustainable solution. Our expert coaches sit with you to design your plan. If you're serious about your health, we're serious about you. The future of weight management is here. Profile by Sanford.
For everything from slam dunks to spikes and Hail Marys to hat tricks, the happiest devices know Midco Sports Network is the place to find the region's biggest college teams, the hottest matchups, coaches shows, and more. Part of every basic cable subscription and online at midcosn.com. This is how the happiest devices do sports. Midco Sports Network. Click midcosn.com.
I was nervous for picture day. My mom let me pick out my outfit. She said, pick wisely. I stood in line with my friends, and then it was my turn.
Next.
There were big lights and a backdrop, and the picture lady said, wow, nice smile. And then there was this poof. I really like my picture.
Welcome to Augustana Sports Scene. I'm Slade Larscheid, Director of Athletics, and joining me, head men's basketball coach Tom Billiter. Well, Tom, a couple big W's from this past weekend.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. First, I'd like to know, I've seen you shoot. I've never seen Bill kick. I think you're probably a little bit more of a two-way
I think I have a leg
star.
up. I really do.
Yeah, there you go. I'd love to see Bill play football.
I would too.
That would be an interesting thing to do. Good weekend, long weekend. Not our farthest trip. That's coming in our next road trip, but not an easy. You play St. Cloud first, and then you end with Duluth. So the trip back is 3 hours north of St. Cloud, and what have you. And all teams have to do it. It's an amazingly. It brings your team together, and it's a much better trip when you're coming home on a win than when you come home on a loss. So to get to this weekend, which I don't know if we've done in a while. St. Cloud played us very well on Friday night. Had a real nice crowd. Fun place to play. They've got a nice facility. That lower bowl was filled. And a lot of Augie fans. We helped them this week pay some bills, and really enjoyed the atmosphere. Thought we got St. Cloud's best punch. They can't play any better out of the gate. Hit 6 of their first 8 shots, of which 5 were threes, and we just hung in there. It was never more than 4, 5, 6 points. And as a staff, at one point they were 6 for 13 from 3, and we were like, it's the old coaching speak, but we said they can't keep making these many, this many. And we were guarding them. Jordan Poydras is a fine player. Scotty Stone really shot it well. Fort played real well inside. And, everybody talks about rivalry games or what have you. I think we've all got rivalry games. Yeah. But I will tell you this. There is something between us and Mankato. There's something between us and St. Cloud that kind of maybe goes back to those old NCC days. But you bring it out of the trainers. You see it in the fan. It's just a fun matchup, and our kids played well.
Well, Al Richter, 29 points, really shot the ball well.
Yeah, Al, all weekend, Jordan Spencer wasn't right. Well, we found out after that game why. But he just didn't feel good. And he was just a little bit off. But he, actually made some plays for not feeling well that are really hard to describe. And that's the reason. It's kind of indicative. It sort of reminds me of Al when he was playing with Cam McCaffrey in the sense that everybody had to, really focus on Cam. Al's wide open. You can't leave him to go get Cam. If you do, you're going to pay. And Jordan's getting so good at that. In the next night against Duluth, Jordan scored all 7 of his points in a row. we needed them. They cut it back down to 9. Jordan scores 7 straight points. And we just said, we put Tanner in the corner and said, Jordan, just go left. They can't leave Tanner, and I know we'll get to him later, but, he just turned the corner and scored 7 straight points. And he's really, for a freshman, picking it up and learning how to play.
Good. Well, leading on to Saturday night against Minnesota Duluth, obviously scored a lot of points.
Yeah, and we did the night before, 101 the first night, and then 95 again or 94, 95 on the Saturday night. Boy, they go fast. I'm already thinking about Winona. But when we're shooting the ball as well as we did, 13 for 20 from 3, of which Tanner Odegaard came off the bench, very reflective of what he did against Southwest State a few weeks ago. We kind of started slow. Duluth has a lead. They're really playing well. Good, well-coached team. Matt does a great job. Got a good young group sitting out. They're going to be very good. And we just, I kind of told Tanner in walkthrough, I said, Tanner, you're going to play. I mean, everybody played 35 more minutes than the night before. They got a couple kids that you can definitely match up on. We're going to play some zone. I said, Tanner, get ready. And he had a really good walkthrough, and he came in and hit, I think, his first 3 threes. And I maybe ended with 4 on the night, and they were all big ones. And whenever Tanner does that, it kind of lifts our team.
He seems like a spark off the bench.
You bet. And everybody likes Tanner. They want him to do well. Our guys give him the ball. They know what he can do. He's earned their respect. They understand how well he can shoot that thing. And he's a little more complete than that. He had a couple nice drives and kicks. And Tanner's a more complete player, but he can really shoot it. So good weekend for us. Had an opportunity to play a few extra guys the night after, which for us is key. Anytime, I know I keep saying it, but the first night we don't win that game. Zach Houston comes in, gets us 7 points, 4 boards, does everything well, gets in foul trouble on Saturday night. But he played 20 minutes the night before, and to be able to rest Casey and Dan with a guy of Zach's caliber. Zach's a 6th starter. He's a starter. He doesn't. Sometimes his minutes are down due to foul trouble, but really nice to have him coming in and do the things he did too, and just a great team weekend. And I got to mention 2 things. I know we're running out of time, but Jordan, Spencer's just sicker than a dog on the morning of our game against Duluth and throwing up. And boy, my staff just does a fantastic job. Colin Authier and Chad Hederman, Peter Crawford, and Hans Hogue, those guys had him up. Jason Rinney, our trainer's working overtime. And, we're hydrating him. We're getting the room. We're in a situation where he's not getting other people sick. Fever breaks at the last second, doesn't go through walkthrough, stays at the hotel. We get him there at the game. He feels better. And we don't win the game probably without him. And just really did a great job for us. And the whole team helped, but just got a fantastic staff.
Good. Well, guys are stepping up quickly. Scout on Winona State and Upper Iowa this weekend.
Winona's a good team. They always play us incredibly well. Again, one of those rival games, don't ask me why, but our hands will be full. Great guard in Riley Bambanek. And they've got a young man from Australia who's been scoring a lot of points lately. Jeffers is going to be a lot of fun to watch. So both teams are very good. Upper Iowa scores the ball probably more than we do. They can really score and shoot it. It'll be a wild weekend, great weekend for the fans to come out. They're going to see 2 really good basketball teams, and they'll see a lot of points. So it should be a fun weekend out at the arena on Friday and Saturday night.
Great. Well, with that said, Winona State Friday night, Upper Iowa Saturday. Good luck, Coach. Coming up next, head women's coach, Dave Krauth.
When you think about preventing injuries, you think about 3 main things. You think about strengthening, and then conditioning, and finally flexibility. When you do the same thing over and over every day, you're more prone to injury. It's rewarding for me to go to a Augustana College game or a Lincoln High School game and see people that I've helped take care of and see them back on the field and performing well.
Choose the experts. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Andersen has always put the home first. And no window is in more homes than Andersen 400 Series windows. Andersen windows are tested by Mother Nature, approved by Father Time, and trusted by more builders than any other. Andersen 400 Series windows and doors. We make quality happen.
Find a full line of quality Andersen products at the area's largest Andersen dealer, Schoenemann's, Southwestern Avenue in Sioux Falls.
If you want a German-engineered compact sedan that's fun, fuel-efficient, and affordable, there's only the Volkswagen Jetta, like this one, 36 Highway MPG. Well, except the 42 Highway MPG Jetta TDI Clean Diesel. Oh, right, and the 48 Highway MPG Jetta Hybrid. And if you want all that variety in another compact sedan, there's... nothing.
Visit Graham Automotive and test drive the 2014 VW Jetta today.
We're back now with head basketball coach Dave Krauth. Dave, come off a long road trip up north. Tell us a little about the games.
Well, You know, I knew it's a tough road trip. Both teams have very nice clubs, and we went into St. Cloud on Friday night and had about maybe what I was expecting as a game. Second half kind of got rolling, and for the first time, I didn't play as many people in the second half of that game, and my mind was really working. You know, can't worry about Saturday and how many minutes you play, and I mean we need to win this game, and you know, it turned out that way. We got some big shots, big plays out of a number of different people. Logan O'Farrell, Allie Kane hadn't played the previous Saturday and practiced during the week, but she made a couple big plays and a basket or two for us during that run, and we got ourselves a real nice win. And you know, I thought our kids were playing and feeling good about themselves coming out of it. But Saturday, I really sensed that we were a little bit of a tired team, and sometimes you need to do something. You know, you got to score, you got to make some plays, and it'll kind of energize you. And it just didn't seem like we had that. Duluth had come off, you know, an embarrassing, probably her worst loss. Annette up there, the coach, probably in her career, a long career, and they showed it in the first half. They were kind of aggressive defensively, but offensively, they were kind of looking a little bit as to where we're going to, and we couldn't take advantage of that. We probably could have had ourselves a lead, but by the second half, they started to feel better about themselves probably, and then we just made too many mistakes, you know, leaving their best shooter, you know, those kinds of things, and, you know, they had a good chance probably to go in there and win, get a sweep on the weekend, but we've had a little bit of a, I don't know if it's starting to be a pattern where our Saturdays sometimes aren't quite as good as our Fridays. And some of that can be from the scouting, where we just have such a quick turnaround that our kids aren't as, you know, alert to, you know, what tendencies may be. But, you know, it's something that we're just crossing the halfway mark now in the league, so we've got some work yet we can do.
Good. Well, Nicole Kirchhoff had 2 career nights. Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, we were saying before we taped that, you know, I just, every time the game's over, I look at the stat sheet and I just kind of get taken aback by, you know, her numbers. We really don't go to her, you know, where it's kind of a one-on-one situation or whatever, or, you know, try to bring her off screens or do something special. She's just kind of, you know, where she needs to be at times and gets a lot of what people would describe as garbage points, but they're as good as spectacular points. Oh, yes. And, you know, rebounded a lot over the weekend, and, you know, I just couldn't ask any more out of her.
Good to hear. Well, what about this week? What's a scoop on Winona and Upper Iowa?
Well, of course, these now will be 2 teams that we haven't seen that we'll play twice yet before the year is out. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have to look at tape and try to get familiarized. There's some familiar people there for maybe our 3 veteran kids. Hopefully they'll remember, but they're, you know, again, 2 completely new teams to a lot of our players, and so we're going to have to get ready for that. And I think a lot of it, though, is we just have to play well enough, be at home, take care of your home court, and be great to, you know, to protect it and come out with 2 wins.
Good. Tell us a little about the parity. Seems like it's really anyone's race right now within the league.
You know, I say it every year, and I meant it again this year, that top to bottom, it is so balanced in the women's basketball in the Northern Sun. And I think the games, well, Friday night, the top team in the league went to the bottom team and lost. And that, again, is just an indication. It doesn't happen that way in other sports, but it's just parity. And as a result, a lot of things can still happen in this last 10 games of the conference.
Yeah, there's a lot of games left.
Mm-hmm.
Well, best of luck this weekend. And coming up next, we'll hear from head track and field coach Tracy Hellman.
iMed Mobility, meeting the mobility challenges and improving the lives of people all across our region, whether at home or on the go, even in the community. Plus, we provide local, personalized customer service before the sale, through installation, and beyond. We are iMed Mobility, and we're here for you. Start living life again, free from limitations. Give us a call or go to imedmobility.com.
Every day I care for patients from across the region. I understand the complexities you face when navigating your medical care and your health coverage. And I understand what you need to stay healthy. More people are choosing Sanford Health Plan for their insurance needs, because you can expect more from an insurance provider who's also dedicated to the work of health and healing.
To obtain coverage, visit SanfordHealthPlan.com or contact your local agent. Choose coverage and care. Choose Sanford.
Welcome back, and with me now is Augustana cross-country track and field coach Tracy Hellman. Well, Tracy, before we get to talking track here, let's back up and just have a little bit of a discussion about the cross-country season. Fantastic season for both the ladies and the guys.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. We were really pleased with how things ended up. Men finished third in the nation, which tied the highest finish ever in our men, and women finished fifth for the second consecutive year. Actually, the last 3 years, both our men and women have been top five in the nation. And so anytime you place consistently at that level, we are really happy about how things turned out. We had 4 All-Americans in the men, and we had 2 All-Americans in the women. So won the conference championship, both men and women. And yeah, so I mean, obviously it was a good year. We were very happy where we're at. And in our program, the bar never rests. We keep raising it higher. And so we're set up well, hopefully, for next year, doing some great things.
Well, the Vikings, a top 5 team in the country in both the men and women. Congratulations. Tracy, following on that, how about looking ahead to next year? How many seniors did you have, and what's the future?
We're in great position. We only lost 2 seniors in our men and 3 seniors in our women, but we return a lot of our key, runners for the team. We have 5 kids returning in the men's team out of our top 7, and we return 3 of our top 5 in women. And we're kind of a youth team in terms of men and women. Our women, we had 2 true freshmen leading our women in cross country, and in men we had, again, a couple of sophomores and juniors. So, yeah, we're looking forward to next year and what we can do.
Bright future for Augustana cross country. Well, we're interviewing Tracy here on Monday. This week he heads to Norway for a recruiting trip, and the Vikings, if you don't know, have a number of international students in the program. Tracy, talk a little bit about how many we have now, how this all got started, and it continues to grow.
Yeah, it's a great connection we have between our track and field program and some international students. And we started way back when I was first started coaching in the early 2000s, and it's just grown from there. We always have a strong contingent of Norwegian international students here on our team, and they've always been great kids for our program. And we've kind of branched it out to attract other kids. We have 2 girls from Spain. We have a girl from Germany, along with our Norwegians, And, I go over there every year, and I meet coaches, and I meet athletes, and just try to spread the word about our program, but about Augustana in general. And it's just been a good fit, I think, for everybody involved, and we hope to keep it going.
Well, it's been tremendous, and the people that have come, the student athletes that have come have been a number of them tremendously successful and have been a part of our great success in both cross country and track. Well, it's winter, it's cold. For those of you who don't know, there's an indoor track season. There's also an outdoor track season. Thank goodness we're in the indoor season. The Vikings have had 1 competition already, and the competitions will be coming fast now till we get to the end of that and the conference championships and on to nationals. Tracy, talk about some of the outstanding athletes you have on the ladies' team and on the men's team.
Yeah, with both teams, we have strong teams coming back. We feel that we have opportunities to be conference champions of both men and women. Individually wise, we have some good depth in the women. We have some really good middle distance and distance runners, obviously, from our cross-country team. But then probably the star of the group is Kayla Mesher, senior, returning conference champ in 800 meters. And then we also added some other key pieces. For instance, Bree Wolbler does the multi-events for us. For multi-event people, they do all sorts of events, high jump, hurdles, sprints, long jump. And then we have Kelsey Kaufman doing the high jump again for us. And then we have a slew of just good, again, sprinters and middle distance runners. So pretty balanced on the women.
Okay, and Bree is a transfer from Iowa State. Let's go to the guys.
In the men, we're pretty loaded in the distance areas. Paul Yak is returning for his final track season, and he's been one of our best. Harald Karbel is, again, one of the best runners in the steeplechase, indoor track, mile. And then C.J. Ham is quite the thrower. He's on the football team, but also one of the best shot put and weight throw guys in the country. And I guess we got some good hurlers. Ryan Hewer leads that group too. So feeling pretty good about our depth and balance in the men also.
Well, as far as the races in the NSIC, how do things stack up? How do we look in the ladies and the guys?
From the ladies, we're going to be in it to win it. It's between us, Mary, Mankato, what I've seen so far, and we certainly have the ability to win the conference championship. In the men, it's going to be a battle between us and Mankato, and that's kind of how it was last year, and I don't think it's going to be any different from this year.
Well, Tracy, the season is upon us in track, and the Vikings will be strong again. Congratulations again on your great success. Have a great trip to Norway, and good luck to your team.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Bill.
All right, when we come back, we will take a look at the Augustana sports calendar for this week. Stay with us. Augustana Sports Scene is brought to you by Sanford Health, Mid-Continent Communications, Light Touch Photography, and Graham Automotive.
With the many priorities in your life, your health and weight can be overlooked. The team at Sanford Health has designed a plan with you in mind. Profile by Sanford delivers a simple, effective, and sustainable solution. Our expert coaches sit with you to design your plan. If you're serious about your health, we're serious about you. The future of weight management is here. Profile by Sanford.
For everything from slam dunks to spikes and Hail Marys to hat tricks, the happiest devices know Midco Sports Network is the place to find the region's biggest college teams, the hottest matchups, coaches shows, and more. Part of every basic cable subscription and online at midcosn.com. This is how the happiest devices do sports. Midco Sports Network. Click midcosn.com.
Let's take a look at the Augustana sports calendar for this week. Friday, January 23rd, basketball back home at the Sioux Falls Arena against Winona State. The women tip off at 6, followed by the men at 8. Indoor track is competing at the MSU Open in Mankato. Saturday, January 24th, wrestling on the road for an NSIC match at Southwest Minnesota State in Marshall. And indoor track finishes competition at the MSU Open. Basketball back home again at the arena, taking on Upper Iowa. The women begin at 4, followed by the men at 6. And remember this athletic information. You can hear all Augustana men's basketball games on KIKN FM 100.5 and worldwide at KIKN.com. And the Augustana ladies games are on KXRB AM 1000 and worldwide at KXRB.com. And for tickets for upcoming Augustana home games and for complete information on Viking athletics, go to our website, goaugie.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time for another edition of Augustana Sports Scene. So long, everybody.
You have been watching Augustana Sports Scene, a weekly review of Viking athletics from South Dakota's largest private college. Learn more about Augustana College in Sioux Falls at augie.edu.